Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Little Braggart. While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little one, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. The horn had eyes like the eyes of a human being, and a mouth that spoke boastfully. Daniel chapter 7 verse 8. In the book of Daniel, chapters 1 through 6 are prophetic stories that parallel what will happen in the last days of this earth's history. They predict that politics and religion will join hands and start to legislate how people worship. The chapters from Daniel 7 to the end of the book use symbolic images to detail what will happen on earth until Jesus comes to take us home. Daniel 7 parallels Daniel 2 in describing the world powers that rise and fall as history unfolds. The animal/beast represent in succession Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. But in Daniel 7, something different happens. Out of the 10-horned fourth beast, which was Rome, rises a little horn that tears out 3 other horns. This horn is different from the other horns because it has a face and a mouth that speaks boastful things. This little horn also attempts to change God's law and His set times, and it wages war against God's holy people who dare to follow God in a different way than it prefers. The big hint that the angel gives to Daniel and to us for identifying this little horn is the time frame when the little horn is allowed to rule on earth without opposition. In Daniel 7 verse 25, we are told that the little horn runs roughshod for a time, times, and a half a time. By comparing with other similar prophecies, we can determine that this means 3.5 years. I'll talk about time prophecies later in more detail, but for today I want you to notice something that comes up quite frequently in prophecy. Notice how long the little horn enemy of God gets to spread its lies about God. Now think about how long Jesus spent in ministry to show this world the true character of the Father. That is right, 3.5 years. In other words, the devil and his allies get a chance to show the world who they think God is for. 3.5 years in symbolic numbers, and Jesus comes to earth to show us the Father for 3.5 years. Comparing the two and their track records, I choose to view God through the lenses of Jesus. While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little one, which came up among them, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn had eyes like the eyes of a human being, and a mouth that spoke boastfully. Daniel chapter 7 verse 8. May God bless you today.